So, let's say you go on YouTube and you start binge watching a bunch of photography tutorials on how to improve your photography. And then next minute you start watching those tech camera review channels showing the new latest camera lens in 2022 or 2023. And then before you know it, you start watching all those YouTube photographers talking about what's in my camera bag in 2021, what's my camera bag in 2022, 2023, 2024. And then your brain starts getting overwhelmed that if you had the money, your photography will improve. Like if you had this new Sony a7 Mark IV, G Master lens, new drone, or this gimbal, this new GoPro, etc, etc. Well, people have been asking me what camera do I use or what lens do I use. Well, to be honest, I don't have much camera gear. Well, yes, camera gear does matter, but it doesn't stop you from taking good photos. Like the camera gear I have is a Sony a6400 and a 70-70 camera lens, and that's basically it. Well, unless you include my tripod or my ND filters, but that doesn't really count. Well, you could, but yeah. So you're probably wondering, why don't I have much camera gear? Well, because I'm broke as fuck. Well, it's not just because of that, because I just like spending more time going out and taking photos, because I enjoy the experience of taking photos. But obviously over time I am going to start investing in more gear, because eventually I will have to if I want to improve my photography more. But just right now I just don't have the budget. But anyways, the first thing I do recommend to get used to shooting on is manual mode. So you get used to shooting on the basic camera settings, which is our ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. But if you're shooting on your phone, you can just use an outsourced app that can manually adjust those settings, which an app I do recommend is Adobe Light. And then once you get more familiar with using those camera settings, right, then you'll know what type of photos you want to go for, such as if you want to do more long exposures, or you want more sharper images, or such as you want to go more bokeh images. And other camera basics you want to know is different focus modes, such as continue autofocus mode, or manual focus mode, or single shot focus mode, so you can understand the type of focus you want towards your subject. And lastly, the other camera basics you want to understand is the histogram, because you want to understand how the histogram works, such as, you know, if your photos are exposed, or understand white balance, so that you know, like, you got the correct white balance, such as the correct temperature for your photo. So the second thing you should try to focus on is composition. Like, how can you capture something with your camera to create like sort of like a story, or something that draws the viewer to a certain subject. There's many ways of composition. Composition can be in the form of framing, leading lines, visual pattern, or even using abstract colors to sort of create like some sort of emotion to make the viewers what type of emotion they want them to feel. You can use the foreground as a way to create depth towards your subject. Like if you focus on doing more compositions, your photos will start improving more. And how can you get better at doing compositions? By actually going out and practicing them. Like let's say 1 week you might practice doing leading lines, and then the next week you might practice doing framing your subject. So if the more you practice, the more your photos will improve if you focus on composition. So the third thing you should try to understand next is lighting, because lighting is a big fundamental in photography, such as like which is the best light to light your subject, such as for landscape photography, right? Like the best time to shoot is golden hours. So golden hours during sunset and sunrise. Or perhaps if you're doing portrait photography, you want to know what's the best lighting situation, light your subject, which is the model. Such as you can use the window light to light your subject, or use backlighting, or perhaps you can use lighting as a way to draw viewers to a certain subject, such as in street photography. If you're shooting in the daytime, right, you can use the lighting as a way to light a certain subject, such as using the shadows as a way to use it as a visual pattern, and use the harsh light to light the pedestrian walking. So the fourth thing I do recommend is editing your photos, because when you edit your photos, you can bring back the details and bring back the exposure back. And editing is a good way to fix little adjustments, such as learn how to crop your photos, or retouch your images, or fix up like a slight angle you made, or learning how to mask your photos that draws viewers to like a certain point of your subject. It's also a good way to develop your own unique style when editing your photos, such as you can develop like a certain emotion you want, or like a certain vibe, such as you want to go for like more like a happy vibe, or maybe you want to go for like more like a dystopian vibe. The editing software I do recommend using is a Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom. And there's other alternative software such as Capture One, Luminar AI, GIMP. If you're editing on your phone, the editing software I do recommend to use is Snapseed and Adobe Lightroom. And the last tip I can really give you is just just go and take more photos, because the best way to really improve your photography is by taking action. Because a lot of people like to consume a lot, like watch a lot of videos on how to improve your photography, or watch a bunch of videos on like tech camera reviews. But if you just sort of just procrastinate and just fucking watch a bunch of videos, you're not going to improve. The only way to improve is by picking up the camera or just grabbing your phone, go and just practice taking photos. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I don't know what to say. You know, it's a bit of a short one, as you know. Let me know what type of videos you'd like to see from me. And yeah, I'm out. Thank you. See ya. Bye.